Long before the bustling temples dedicated to Lord Ganesha were built across the world, there existed a small, forgotten temple nestled deep within a remote jungle. This temple, however, held a remarkable secret, one that would be uncovered only through Ganesha's own intervention. The story begins in a time when Lord Ganesha was still a child, playful and mischievous, yet wise beyond his years. In a village far away, there was a humble and devout priest who loved Lord Ganesha dearly. Every day, the priest would offer prayers and incense at a small temple he had constructed, dedicated to the god. The temple, made of stone, was simple, yet beautiful. It was the priest's most cherished possession, for it was here that he felt closest to Ganesha. One day, a wealthy merchant passed through the village. Hearing of the priest's devotion and the temple's beauty, he decided to offer a large sum of money to the priest in exchange for the temple. The merchant, being a man of ambition, had plans to tear down the humble structure and build a grand palace in its place. But the priest, despite his poverty, refused the merchant's offer, stating that the temple was not for sale. For it was not just stones and wood. It was a sacred place where he could commune with the divine. Angered by the priest's refusal, the merchant threatened to use his influence and wealth to destroy the temple. He summoned his workers, and under the cover of darkness, they began to tear down the temple. By the time the priest awoke and arrived, the temple was in ruins. Heartbroken and angry, the priest prayed to Lord Ganesha, pleading for a miracle. That night, as the priest sat before the ruined temple, Ganesha appeared before him in a dream. The god spoke gently, telling him not to worry. The temple would not remain in ruins for long, and Ganesha would ensure its return. But the priest must trust in him and follow his guidance. The next day, the priest went into the jungle to gather the broken pieces of the temple. As he was about to place a stone back in its original position, the ground beneath him trembled. Before his eyes, the stones began to shift and move on their own. The temple reformed before him, stone by stone, as though guided by invisible hands. As the last stone was put into place, the temple stood, fully restored, even more beautiful than before. The priest was awestruck. He couldn't believe what he had witnessed. When he entered the temple to thank Ganesha, he found the god standing before him, smiling kindly. Lord Ganesha told the priest not to fret over those who sought to destroy what is sacred. The strength of faith and devotion was greater than any material wealth. The temple was never just stone. It was built on the foundation of love and devotion. And love, once created, could never be destroyed. As the priest looked on, the temple seemed to glow with a divine light, brighter than it had ever been. Ganesha blessed the priest and told him to keep the temple hidden, away from the greed of men. Over the years, the temple remained untouched by the outside world, its location only known to a few. Those who were pure of heart and came with genuine devotion could find their way to it, but the temple vanished from the sight of those with impure intentions. This untold story of Ganesha serves as a reminder that true devotion cannot be destroyed by worldly desires or greed. It is the love and faith we place in the divine that create something eternal, something beyond the reach of time or materialism.